Hey y'all, so I've done this video before here on the channel for the 6464 workout for Cash 4 Pick 4, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again just to update you guys and have a more fresh video available. So we're going to use two states. The first one is going to be New York, and then down here we're going to recap over some information for Connecticut. So bear with me as we get started. Now we're going to use New York's January 12th mid-draw to get the evening draw. Now we know that 6281 is what fell, so I'm going to show you guys how to create the workout and what to spot. So on the first one, what you'll do is you'll add whatever is at the top to whatever is underneath it. So 6 plus 7 is going to be 13. However, you can't write 1, 3. So what you have to do is use lottery math and keep whatever digit is on the right hand side. And then that would give you your 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. 6 plus 5 is 11. 6 plus 1 is 7. So now once I get back to the digit in which I started with, I'm going to stop adding. I will do this again for this row, and this row. So 9 plus 4 is 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is going to be 11. 1 plus 4 is going to be 5. And eventually you just start learning that, you know, you only keep whatever is over on the right hand side. So, you know, you'll eventually be like, oh, okay, 4 plus 9 is actually 3 instead of 13, so eventually you'll get to that point. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and finish this up. Okay, so your workout is complete as far as having it written down. Now, the next step that you would do is to calculate your date sum. So you would take whatever the month is and you would add it to whatever the day is. So in this case, 1 plus 12 equals 13. And again, because it is lottery math, you keep the digit only on the right hand side. So you are going to be looking at all of the 3's as your start point inside this workout. But that's not all. I feel like one of those special advertisers. That's not all. Okay, so now we're looking at the mirrors form of this. Anytime you see a 3, that means you also need to consider the 8's because these two digits can interchange and play as one another. Alright, now with a 3 and an 8, you can also play a 2 or a 7. You can play a 1 as a 6, a 0 as a 5, and vice versa. In other words, a 5 can be played as a 0, 6 can be played as a 1, continuously all the way down this list, 9 can be played as a 4. So, what we do here is we take whatever the date sum is, which in this case is going to be a 3, we're going to mark off and highlight all of the 3's and the 8's because those two digits mirror each other. Now that you have all of your 3's and your 8's highlighted, you can use this as a start point. Used to be where when you'd have a cluster of numbers like this right here, generally that would be where your hit would come off of, would be immediately off of it. But sometimes they will change it up and then bring it down next to where the other one is at. Now, sometimes you can use mirror forms to find your hit, which I'm going to show you an example here in a moment. But if you are looking for your next hit, we know that 6281 is the one that fell. So 6's can play as 1's, right? 2's can play as 7, so we're looking for any of those combination of digits, 8's, 3's, 1's, and 6's again. Now, being as how we are looking at this specific one, we did not have to use mirrors for this particular next hit. If you look right here, you will see that there is your 8 right there. A lot of times they will either use the date sum or the next hit will at least touch the date sum, meaning it would come off of and at least one of these digits would be used or one of these digits would be used. So it kind of helps you zone in a little bit more. Now, we know that 8 was one of the 3 digits. It was 6281. Now we need to find another digit out of here that is actually physically touching. So if you look, you can actually see 2 of them. Alright, here's your 2. So we know we've covered the 8, we've covered the 2. Now we need a 6 and a 1. Well, the 6 and the 2 connect and touch. Okay, and look, the 6 and the 1 touch, and there is your hit number right there. Okay, now remember, not every number has to touch. At least one number has to touch off of the next, and then off of the next. Sometimes they're in a complete square, sometimes they're running straight up, sometimes they're going up 3 and over 1 in a different direction, sometimes they zigzag through the workout. You'll have to find the patterns that are most common for your state. They will alter and change it up. Now, let's take another look here at Connecticut. A couple things I want to point out is that you can use this from draw to draw, although usually you will see that it works, the workout will work for multiple draws. Some states it will last for 3 or 4 draws, sometimes it will last even further. So that's going to be dependent upon your state. You'll need to backtrack that to see or start using it and going forward and seeing how often you can use the same one. Also, when you're using your workout, you're starting with a 6-4-6-4. You do not want to include that into choosing your winning numbers, okay? Just like up here, you would not want to necessarily include that into choosing your winning numbers, because this is the core of the workout. This is where you're wanting to actually look for your hits, not necessarily using that. So that's a question that I get pretty often as well. Now down here on Connecticut for 112, their mid to evening draw is what we're looking for. The midday draw was 6-8-0-3. Now, let's take a look at this. The evening winning draw was 9-4-4-6. Now we talk about using mirrors. You do not see a 9-4-4-6 connected inside this workout, right? Yet you do. Because if you look back at our chart, 4s and 9s can play as one another because they mirror, they mimic each other. Well, this right here would be your 9. Here's your 4, 4, 6. So there is your hit. Notice how you have more of a cluster of the 8s and 3s down here. Remember what I said? Sometimes they will actually take and play as a divert. They'll change the algorithm, or they'll change the pattern just a little bit just to kind of throw you off. Sometimes they'll bring it off of the one that is remote and not clustered. So you want to consider all possible options. Now, these workouts are here to help you narrow down 10,000 different straight combinations, right? So out of 10,000, this narrows you down to a considerably smaller list to have to look at, or possible combinations. So again, there would be your 9 because it mirrors. There's your 4, 4, 6. Keep in mind, one digit touches the next digit, which touches the next digit, which touches the next digit. So use this for your cash 4 pick 4, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck on this, and I will see you all soon. Thank you for visiting the channel. Be sure to hit subscribe, check out the content and the membership area of the channel, and I'll see y'all soon. Later, y'all.